All right, we're back.
Hello.
And
Transition. And we did it. Maybe.
yeah.
There it is. Hi, everybody.
Technology.
Ooh,
Listen,
baby.
we're back, and we are joined by Omnis, who has a special shout-out.
Shout out to Dizzard, the Lizard Wizard. What's going on, man? Thanks for hitting me up. Should have been here, man.
Yeah.
Why aren't you here? You should have been here with us.
Preet says hi as well, Dizzard.
Yeah. All right, thanks everyone for tuning in.
Thank you, Omnis, for literally everything you do.
Yeah.
Everything.
All right, scooch in here, baby boy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we are back. A little bit of a technical foul, but we got it back online, we got it back in, and we're good for the win. So we are going to be going into the semi-finals right now. There are 4 players left. Next game up on stream is going to be Reith and Kirkov. So we've seen both of these guys. We've been tracking their Joe Manji. First off, incredible name. Incredible name. And thank you so much for that sub.
They only get one of those. They gave them to us.
Yeah, that's right.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Daddy Bezos. You're the best, my dear. All right. So we are going to be starting this game incredibly shortly. 9 minutes away, probably less. As the competition gets closer and closer, they really want to, get in there. Yep.
Get in those things.
100%.
Get in it and win it.
We're going to have Danny on this next one, too. She is prepping right now. And, she's here. Never mind.
She's here with a coffee and everything.
So we're going to be doing this here shortly. We have 2 high-level competitors.
Yeah.
The winner of that going on to the championship. We have X-Men as well as, I believe, a Hydra Avengers list.
Oh, no kidding.
Right?
Heck yeah.
So, I mean, you love to see dual affiliation. You love to see that one last X-Men player hanging on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what an X-Men player he is as well with Simon.
Simon is unbelievably intelligent, knows this game forward and backward. So I don't know if he went over this in his interview, but that exact list that he brought is the one that he tests with almost all the time.
Yeah.
He says that he knows that forward and backwards it pays dividends all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He's very familiar with it, and obviously it paid off.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and it's one of those things, too. There is not many more... Both. Not many more practiced people than him at X-Men. He takes it to events all the time. We've streamed him several times at different events. At ACO, at the Mid-Winter Games, LVO, Midgard Games. Yep. Midgard Games qualifier in New Hampshire. It looks like that group as well, the Montreal Shark Tank, is going to be trying to put together an event in June.
Oh, okay.
As well, either in Quebec or Montreal, which sounds like it's going to be an absolute blast. So... And if anyone didn't know this, in the great U.S., you will have to have an enhanced license, or at least in New York, to fly by May of this year.
All right. I'm pretty sure mine's still good. I'll have to check that.
So, listen, if you're going to have to get it for something else anyway, guess what? You're going to be able to get into Canada for that event in June.
Yeah, for real.
Also, we got to hear from Tyson just a little bit ago about how you can, in fact, qualify for next year's LVO. There's a bunch of ways to do it. You don't have to win some big convention. It's a great way to get in, though.
Yeah.
But you can qualify on points. If you head out to LVO qualifier events, the top 8 all get points. And points players are, in fact, invited to fill in those last spots. So we knew Chewy qualified on points. There was a few others that we talked to over the weekend that qualified on points. So...
See, I never knew that. I always thought you had to take tournaments, like in the top 2 or 3.
So the only real regulations there is that it gets approved ahead of time by Tyson. I'm going to try to get our event next month approved, now that I know how that works.
Yeah.
That'd be incredible, right?
For sure.
Doesn't matter how big or small the event is.
Oh, no kidding.
You can qualify there. Yeah?
That's great.
So I think that's really cool and really important that... maybe you constantly get thirds, fourths, seconds. You're just, you're always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But you can still qualify to be in here at LVO.
I've seen
get ready for next year. Right?
Yeah,
Kind of good. A quick summary of how the last game ended up. I missed it. So we had Simon
going up against X-Men Gold,
going up against Aaron, who is running a Freedom Force list with a Mystique leader. That was Storm, Domino, Magic, Pyro, Ghost Spider, and Beast at 18 threat on Spider Portals and Montesi. With Sacrifice, Brace, First Class, Mission Objective, and Pyrotechnics.
Right where X-Men Gold wants to be.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
And then Aaron was running Apex, Brother, Sabretooth, Mystique, Juggernaut, Rhino, and Bullseye. A very bully team.
Yeah,
and just
real.
wait till you hear these tactics cards, too. Indomitable, brace, do you know who I am? This is a robbery and deception.
Yep.
It was an insanely bloody game.
Yep.
Mystique dazed in the first round. Ghost Spider, same thing. We had a lot of KOs, I believe, at the end of the game.
By round 3, I think both Apex and Mystique were gone.
Yep.
I think Ghost Spider was also gone.
Yep.
It was a very bloody game, for sure.
And then a couple kind of big whiffs, no misplays in that game.
For sure.
But
The
because of the
last
spider
two-
portals.
I think a huge thing was the last 2 objectives that Aaron tried to take. He failed both, and he got displaced off of both, and it just solidified Simon's victory.
And on Juggernaut and Rhino, no less, where
absolutely.
like they can be super maneuverable, but when they get pushed short,
Oh, dude, no,
short,
it's size 2.
Yeah.
Size 2 place is just insane.
Yep.
You know? But no, it was a great game. 2 great players. Everyone here. So this is one of the greatest things about this game is everyone's demeanor has been and will be fantastic all the time. You know what I mean? We have a handshake already from our 2 players, and they haven't even started rolling dice.
Right. So it looks like they are going to be getting started here. So this is
Well,
semifinals.
I'll jump up.
Absolutely.
Great to see everybody.
And everyone, just give a massive shout out to Taylor, who is just at the side of the table all weekend long, making sure that we know what is actually happening. Even though we wear these stupid looking glasses. But I love them.
No, they're really great. These are always fun. The like little hole glassy thingy. They're super great. Yeah, I love them. And semifinals and finals. So semifinals right now we're showing, and the finals right after, for sure. But yeah, thanks everybody. It's fun to be up at the table. I learned so many new things while I'm up there, and I'm still a terrible player.
Yeah.
So, but I'll see you, and I'll see you folks later.
Absolutely. All right, so we're about to get into it here. Both of these players have performed incredibly well over the course of the weekend here. We are also going to be joined for the semifinal round by Miss Danielle herself.
Hey, you guys.
Not only is Danny a regular commentator here and on Wait Did I Roll a Wild and the Power Phase and all of our events, you can also catch her as the GM of the Lost Omens podcast, a Pathfinder 2nd Edition actual play podcast. Danny, tell us a little bit about Lost Omens and what's been going on there.
Well, some call me the good GM over
true.
on Lost Omens. We are playing through the Extinction Curse AP. We just started the 3rd book, which is taking our wayward wonders to the Isle of Kortos, specifically the township of Carrick in the Swordlands, and they are investigating the Aeon Towers and why they're failing and how to make them not fail. So
We do fail a lot.
you do, but the
That's accurate.
what was it? Episode 111 is about to drop, I believe. The early 100s, if you're looking for a jumping on point, that's great because it's all like very, very heavy RP. You're not missing a ton of the story. So if you are looking for a Pathfinder 2nd Edition and an over 100 episode kind of thing is not really your jam, you can hop right on in the early 100s. It's a lot of RP. It's a good time.
And that's a good segue in between books too, right? We're starting book 3 kind of around that point.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a great way to get into the show then here's what I'm going to guarantee you though, you're going to get into at those episodes and you're going to be like, all right, I got to go back. Wreath.
Yep.
So Wreath not only has one of her pins on there,
Oh, dope.
also gets priority in his secures.
Okay, so we are going to be using Wreath's secures. Danny, would you want to pull up Longshanks and see what these guys' full rosters and stuff is and is be?
What it is, B.
All right, so we do know Wreath could kind of go a couple different ways with this because he can be going, I believe, Avengers or Hydra.
All right, so Wreath has Hydra Avengers, so Baron Zemo, Black Cat, Bob, Dr. Voodoo, Hulk, Juggernaut, Sam Wilson, Captain America, Luke Cage, Black Widow, and Red Skull.
Nice.
And you said we are going with his secures, yeah?
Yes.
So we have hammers,
Hammers.
infinity formula.
Hannity's Infinity. And we are going to be playing at
We're going 18.
18.
18.
All right, so you love to see hammers. Everyone can be worthy for a little while. adding some extra attack dice on all of their attacks with if they pick one of those hammers up, and also increasing the cost of any tactics cards that they play. But with the recent Crisis update, it is not an additional power for each hammer you have, it's just a flat 1 extra power. Kind of a nice change to that. Makes it so you can still get off that "do you know who I am," even if you're carrying 3 hammers.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. And I know Kirchhoff is running a shield roster.
Yes. So we've got another Black Widow, Hawkeye, Iron Man, Nick Fury Jr., Bucky, Bullseye, Luke Cage, Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos, Crimson Dynamo, and Rhino.
Nice. So what do you think we're going to see from Wreath today? I think we saw him run Avengers the first time we saw him. Do you think he busts out the Hydra now against Shield, and you have that really nice matchup, right? Shield versus Hydra.
I would love to see that narratively.
Right.
You know, it's just like a movie in my mind the whole time. I don't know, but if he's going well with what he's been doing, it's kind of one of those things, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right. Well, and while they're figuring out the rosters and stuff too, we don't know really until the very last minute who is Wreath's leader going to be, what affiliation is he going to be running. Kirchhoff has one method, right? And that is Shield. But Wreath could really be doing anything here.
What do you think, Tim? If you were playing in a very competitive scene like this, are you going to double down like Kirchhoff and just like straight up one affiliation, go all in? Or are you going to try to spread it a little more thin so that you could potentially do 2, maybe even 3 different affiliations?
Well, and so that's the thing that we've seen, right? So I look at someone like Simon that's been running mono X-Men, doing very well with it. I feel like personally I would want that versatility to be able to go a couple ways. But I am regularly victim of that analysis paralysis.
Yes, 100%.
And being like, well, I should have gone the other route. So I think leaving it kind of center line, one affiliation is certainly not the bad way to go.
Yeah.
But if you get a bad matchup, having someone in there like Malekith that can run kind of their own a separate affiliation, or just go wild card Dormammu. And you know what?
Yeah.
If I'm bringing them, got that Dark Dimension rolling.
Bring it.
But that's how I would lose a competitive tournament, I guess.
That's how
is what
you
I'm
lose
saying.
it?
Yeah. How about you? I know you like to play A-Force. We've seen Alyssa do very well with A-Force mixed with Inhumans. And A-Force is really kind of one of those nice ones that can go kind of a bunch of different ways. You could go with a Storm leadership or something as well.
Yep.
How would you want to run that?
I wouldn't mind doing a little, as much as you could, A-Force, maybe. Inhumans wouldn't be bad. Maybe throw as much X-Men in as you could. Like you said, using a Storm leadership, that would be kind of fun. But I am also victim of that analysis paralysis, so I would almost say I'm just going to go straight one affiliation. That's all my brain capacity can hold. My CPU usage is too high.
As a whole, how do you think Web Warriors and or Spider Foes this weekend? So we got to see, I think, a couple, or maybe one cool Spider Foes game. I do know that Matt Alex, kind of the champion of the Web Warriors, got knocked out round 1 as far as the championship track, at least, for the brackets, which is shocking because he normally performs insanely well. I think Web Warriors is kind of in a tough spot currently. You really need to know your polls and your activations with them. And we've seen some Ghost Spiders just absolutely get spacked. I think with Web Warriors, you kind of know who the targets are to take out, and it's that Ghost Spider. But I think maybe with Spider-Woman coming out with Agent Venom, that we might be seeing a resurgence of Web Warriors, especially with that change to Spider-Man standard OG Peter Parker's health. I'm excited to see how they develop over 2023. Spider Foes, on the other hand, I think they're in a great spot. We saw Shane Smith do insanely well at Everwinter with them. There's a bunch of different tech and mechanics that people are making use of in them. Rhino is a big part of that as well. I love seeing him out there. We've seen him usually out of affiliation, but I think we haven't yet seen exactly what Spider Foes is going to be doing with Rhino in play.
Do you wonder, and this is, throwing this out to chat as well as to you, Tim, do you wonder if perhaps hang on, let's hold that and get these. All right, so Vincent, we've got Hawkeye, Bullseye, Bucky, Iron Man, Nick Fury, and Los Howling Commandos.
Okay.
And Nick Fury Jr.
So a very similar list that we saw him run earlier. So Nick Jr. and Senior, I like that.
Yeah.
Getting
Sounds
that.
like we're watching some cartoons.
Right? And what do we have for tactics cards?
We've got Eye in the Sky.
Mm-hmm.
Sit Rep.
Okay.
Sacrifice. Helios Laser.
Love seeing that Helios.
And Battlefield Medicine.
Battlefield Medicine, so no brace here. Okay.
Thank you, Taylor.
I like that. A little bit interesting there.
Looks like
Mix up from before.
Looks like we're going Hydra.
I
On
love
Reed's
it.
side, we'we've got Red Skull.
Red Skull, Master of Hydra, right?
Yes, that is correct. We've got Bob.
Love it.
Baron Zemo.
Zemo.
Black Cat.
Okay.
And the Jugs.
And Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Juggernaut with no brace on the other side. That's going to be dangerous.
Uh-huh. You know what he took, though? Brace for impact.
All right.
He sure did. Patch up. Inevitable betrayal.
Inevitable betrayal.
Inevitable. Eyes on the prize.
Okay.
And mission objective.
Okay, mission objective. So do you know who I am?
All right, so question for chat. Question for Tim. Do you think there's some kind of disadvantage to the affiliations that have been around longer? More people have played them, gotten used to them, figured out the weak spots, right? Like you said, Ghost Spider, always kablam, gone. Do you think that there's some kind of drawback to taking an affiliation like Web Warriors that's so well known, hasn't had a ton as far as new additions or anything like that recently, where, like I said, people have played it, people know who to target, whereas, once you get we've seen a lot of really, really new stuff here on stream. Do you think there's any kind of downside to taking something like that?
You know what, I do. I think especially when you have really popular affiliations that haven't gotten updates in a while, if people like to play them and if they're popular characters, people get a lot of reps in against them, right? So they kind of know how they work and they know how they play. And when you have a smaller character pool like Web Warriors that hasn't been really expanded recently, there's only so much they can do, right? So it's really about who you're splashing in. So I think we've just seen some updates to Brotherhood and X-Men, which is why they're so popular. We've seen some very, very recent update to Spider Foes and Criminal Syndicate. And for the first time in a while, we've seen Criminal Syndicate popping back up. Yeah. With the addition of Pyro as well, he's kind of led S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of into the mix, and as well as a few other affiliations where, it's just one of those things. There are some of the older affiliations that haven't received an update. Wakanda's certainly one of them that people understand how to play against. They understand what their tricks are, and that newness factor, that brand new car spell is really usually what kind of kicks it at a convention like this. X-Force, listen. Dizzard. X-Force is in a great spot. They're a great company. Everyone loves them. Cable's the best. But they need some help. They need some help, especially with Weapon X program out. Kind of took all of those X-Force favorites and gave them a better home. I still love playing them though. All right, so behind that building we have, I don't know who dropped back there, but on Kirchhoff's side looks like we have Bullseye and Hawkeye down. I can't tell them apart.
Can't tell from this far.
One's Hawkeye, one's better Hawkeye,
Whoa.
Right? To be fair, Cable is doing much better now. I enjoy him in the current Crisis set. Actually, same. Absolutely. There's a disadvantage. I think mission changes create bigger advantages, disadvantages. Newer characters right now are better designed currently to be playable. You look at Scourge Heimdall compared to the more recent releases, and you can see the difference. I don't disagree there at all. I think You know what I mean? And it's been a little while since we've seen that character update. We might receive one this year. It'd be really cool to see, especially for Cyclops Cable.
Vincent's rooting for the enemy with his Hydra shirt.
Yeah. Right, Vincent's got a Hydra shirt on.
You see Baron Zemo there up on that top building as well. But Taylor just let us know Vincent is sporting a Hydra shirt, so really kind of fanboying.
Fanboying.
Wow, did I just have a stroke?
I think you did. Do you need some more chicken and waffles?
Probably.
Ugh.
But yeah, Kirkov obviously a fan of Hydra as well. As a SHIELD player, no less. He's infiltrating it from the inside.
So we've got some Juggernaut deployment. Oh, is that Baron Zemo up there?
That is Baron Zemo.
He's got the sword? Okay.
Yeah, Trim, one of my favorite jokes is just saying that Bullseye's better Hawkeye, because I loved Bullseye in Dark Avengers, where he was pretending to be Hawkeye for a hot minute.
OC Panda, we did hit that up this morning for breakfast. It was such a delight.
Mm-hmm.
I ordered 2 entrees.
Yes,
when in Vegas.
And then we saw the size of the stuff that came out, and it was like, oh my God.
Remember when I was like, wow, you only get 1 pancake for $17, and then the pancake was literally bigger than the plate?
Yeah, it was a pizza-sized
It
pancake.
was huge.
All right, so it looks like we have that cool converted Iron Man down as well, in addition to Nick Fury Jr. at the bottom with his commando, or with his grunts right next to him.
Maddie Woods, just imagine, like, in the end, Vincent is like, I was Hydra all along. He does have the mustache, too.
I actually like to see a Bucky twirling that mustache. Yeah, a Dark Avengers affiliation would be awesome, dude. And I'm stoked for Hellfire Club. We're really excited to see who's in that and how they expand that, right?
Love that. Love, love, love that.
Wow, spoilers from a 2017 movie. I'm sorry.
I'm really interested to see, too, with, like, the Emma Frost sculpt, how they're going to do that, because, like, in her diamond form, I feel like it would be worth it to give, you know, ideally what Dan would want from an Iceman model, just like that, like, translucent bluish plastic. I would love that.
100%. Also, a huge shout out to Monument Hobbies, who provided some of the prize support for the painting competition for MCP, which we just got to talk to Tyson about.
Right. Good. We've got measurement tools down.
Wow, are we looking at maybe a Baron Zemo just coming out of the gate swinging here? No way.
Or is he measuring from the point?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Maybe?
Looks like he might be measuring from the infinity formula.
Eyes on the prize with the agents.
Okay.
Okay.
Eyes on the prize with those agents. Hydra.
So them Hydra troopers.
Man, everybody's got troopers. I want X-Men to get, like, Jubilee. Oh, what's the Dazzle one?
Onto Red Skull.
Jubilee, the Dazzler.
So he picked up what do you do?
Eyes on the prize of
For what? What do you
Dazzler.
get with it?
Thank you, Mike.
The hammer. Okay. All right, so that's a hammer on Red Skull.
What's one more like?
All right, so Red Skull is eyes on the prizing, moving up, grabbing a hammer, and then moving right on back to that hammer. He's got some heavy range on him, and he's a damage dealer, so having a hammer on him is a little scary.
All right, chat, if you were going to make grunts for X-Men, who would you put on that base? I'm voting Jubilee, Dazzler. Who else? We need a third one.
Dagger? Morph? Actually,
Morph! Morph!
Yeah.
Hi, Dr. Norbert. Ooh, Angel would be a good one.
I like the idea of multiple man being just grunts. All right, Bullseye going to the top of the grocery store, picking up a hammer himself. Also a great one to have a hammer. So he's way up there. He is not on camera, but he is at the top of that grocery store. Oh, gold balls.
You want gold balls on there?
Mm.
Yeah,
I don't
we
want
could
any
get
of those
some the
characters
New
as grunts,
Mutants,
but yeah.
Right? Like, get the New Mutants on there.
Mm-hmm.
Give them a time to shine.
Iceman clones, that's a great one. The Stepford Cuckoos as well would be a great one for a grunt base. Or maybe multiple swarms. Granted, not a mutant. Is swarm a mutant? I don't know. Maybe. Ice Golem grunts. Yeah.
Black Cat shuffles over to their security.
All right, Black Cat is going to go up to that Infinity Formula at the top. Next to those Hydra Troopers. That's going to send it back over to Kirkov. Lockheed would, yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Or so if they made a Jubilee model, having her little vampire baby as unless maybe that's Shogo, as a grunt would be red. He'll always be gold balls in our hearts. 100%. He's
What's
not egg.
up?
He's not egg. Not in my life. Not in my heart. I appreciate that, Dan. What's the secure? The secure is Infinity Formula. Here in the semifinal round. Ooh, Health Club guards. That's actually a really good one.
Yeah.
Hawkeye moves up to the top square over there, and then Reacher passes.
Okay, so Hawkeye going to be moving to that top right Infinity Formula, and then Wreath is going to pass. How can we help the Midnight Suns to be a good affiliation? Wreath? Okay. Yeah.
Passes.
Doombots? Yeah, 100%. Leech and Artie. Oh, Leech would be awesome. We've been playing a bunch of Marvel Snap, me and Dan and Dr. D. Those Leech plays, though. Man thing for the Midnight Suns. Ooh, I like that a lot. A Mutates affiliation, gets some more strain or sinister.
Bucky with a hammer.
Yeah.
Give that Buckster a hammer.
Watching your back with a hammer is going to be rough. So then he's going to also, after picking up that hammer, is going to move to that Infinity Formula. And that's going to pass it back to Wreath. Wreath probably being the person that traveled the furthest for this.
Yeah, where's Wreath from?
Australia.
Oh my goodness.
Juggernaut picks up a hammer, starts moving.
All right, Juggernaut grabbing that hammer.
Does he know Quinn? I bet they're neighbors.
They go to the same Macas.
Oh my gosh.
Bucky with that hammer. All right. Then Juggernaut going up. Looks like he's also going to be contesting that Infinity Formula. So, and this is one of those things, right, where it seems like there may be heavy handling on those Infinity Formulas, but they're going to be getting additional power for every single one there next round. So if you're not going to be getting into a scrum, you might as well be grabbing some extra power and doubling down on that secure point.
Yep, I completely agree.
Okay. All right. His Black Cat is going to be, what do you say? Oh, gotcha, yes. All right, so those Howling Commandos, nope, those are shield runs. Moving up there to also contest, even though they can't contest, so might be trying to steal a hammer here, but I think Red Skull already had it.
Oh.
Nova Scotia crew, let's go Phil.
Well, it's saying Reef lives in Canada currently, so he's not neighbors with Quinn. That's okay.
Oh, nuts. My
Still
bad.
though, Canada's
Yeah.
a long way to, long ways to come.
Shield agents just double walk. Fury walks to the back.
All right,
Shield agents double walking.
and then Junior also going to that Infinity Formula. Gotcha. All right.
I feel like I'm Australian at heart, permanently living in America.
All right.
Just checking the wording on sit rep.
I believe SITREP's just kind of like a recalibration matrix, if I recall. Like a shield version of it. You want to look up what SITREP does?
Yes.
Skull of beer right now.
Zemo double moves to that top objective.
Oh, SITREP lets you move. All right, so Zemo also going for that top objective.
Spend one within 3, can move, can advance short.
Oh, this was a tactical analysis. Gotcha.
Is it red?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yep. Are the boards set up by the players or pre-set up by the TOs? Yeah, so Omnis has been setting up each one of these boards. Yep. And once again, it's just a massive shout out to all the TOs, Omnis, Lexa, Danny, Rick, and Mr. Brian Watson. Lexa, by the way, is currently running a 3x3 team tournament that has 16 teams for a total of 48 players in that side event today as well.
What's the threat level of, like...
I don't know the exact rules of that particular setup, but I know it's kind of like a draft where you can kind of hide who you're going to be running.
Making sure to position within 4 of Zemo.
Okay.
Okay. So Iron Man double moving up to the center, making sure that he is within range 4 of Zemo for next round.
Iron Man?
Bob just
Iron Man.
What?
Iron Man moved up to be within range of Zemo.
Bob at the bottom just moves to the secure.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, Bob at the bottom just got to the secure.
Yeah.
Iron Man was setting up on Karkov's last turn to be in range for next round.
Wait, what?
Baron Zemo.
Gotcha. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'd be really interested to talk to Lexa about how that is all set up, because I remember the Symbiote one that we did where we got 11 points, 11 threat. That was fun.
So that's 4-4 at the end of round 1?
4-4.
See how bad this messes up the UI? A little bit, not a ton. Wrong one there. All right, and this is kind of what we've seen, right, with these higher end games where we see a lot of ties. People kind of
close.
The players being really technical and making sure that they know which ones they're going to be able to get easily, and making sure that they do, and setting up powerful round 2s.
Yeah.
Go Wreath. I feel the extract steel tech for Wreath will give him a solid edge. I don't necessarily disagree. I don't disagree. All right, so they're asking about any other tactics cards and stuff in the power phase. Wait, is Bullseye on top of the size 5 where we can't see him? Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Yes, he is.
Every single one of Reed's character gets 3 power.
Oh my God.
The serum and affiliation. Except for Red Skull, he only gets 2.
So because of the stacking on those infinity formulas, pretty much all of Wreath's team will be getting 3 power at the start of this round.
Except Red Skull, who's getting 2.
Correct. All right, Black Cat going to wall crawl upside that Bleecker grocery store, take that hammer directly off of Bullseye, and then go ahead and finger guns and probably moonwalk away. And you'll see her descending back to the ground right behind those Hydra troopers, looks like.
I really love that. I think a lot of times what I personally see is people waiting until later in a round to activate Black Cat, so seeing her being the first character activated to do essentially what Black Cat does best. I really dig this.
Well, and that too as well, so we're getting some TO measurement here from Omnis because this is a very tall building that they're going to be dropping this Black Cat off of. But what a nice target to be able to move up, grab that, and then get back to safety. So as far as being able to steal a hammer, the other hammer for Kirkov is on Winter Soldier, who's pretty far back.
Yeah.
But getting up there, getting that back off, and getting away is certainly the way to go here.
So,
but you're right, yeah, normally Black Cat's like kind of held to the end.
For the end, yeah. So I'm hoping that works out well for Reese. I'm not sure that Kirkov has a ton that he can necessarily do about that. He could certainly go and get some attacks in, but...
All right, so we are going Iron Man. Friday AI. Into Zemo. A bunch of energy here. Ooh, it's a pretty decent roll with the push. It's 3 on 1. Master Tech Doors. Ugh. That strategy re-roll into a skull, so that is all going to go through. So that's 3 on Zemo. And I think there was a wild there, so he will get the push as well. I mean, that's a pretty solid start for Iron Man's activation. Oh, Black Cat does not have wall crawler, so she climbed up. Thank you, Neo Kenobi.
We're gonna do that same thing in a jar.
All right, now we're gonna do the same thing. He's gonna do another Friday II, this time into Juggernaut. Ooh, there's the wild. That's what he wanted. Rolling 3. Juggernaut blocking 2. Probably nice punch down to 0. 0 damage there. But he got what he wanted. That was mostly for the push.
Yep.
Disrupt that movement a little bit, push him way back there, and force him to effectively not have everything go according to plan. Alyssa with the you hate to see it shock. For apparently Simon's domino is no more. And then Iron Man is done over here.
Great activation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, getting Zemo out of place as well is going to potentially help Hawkeye stay alive. Iron Man just that turret in the center. Blasting. This is the semifinal. So the winner of this will go on to the championship. Magic Nick, I don't know. If I'm hearing First Blood, though, it sounds like that game's pretty accelerated. Wow, she is actually KO'd.
Wow.
Shooting with the grunts.
All right, Bob is going to shoot into the grunts with that Hydra pistol. Only 1 damage going through, but still, listen, if anyone can get it done, it's going to be Bob. That's also going to get him some extra power for when he wants some more excessive violence later. Looking good there. And he'll get it. So those commandos, I believe, are down. Ken, he got your back off of a grunt death? Yes. All right. Thank you. Dude, chat has been so helpful this weekend.
Seriously.
Not only are we thankful for you being here and your support in general, but your rulings have been pretty top notch. That's awesome, then. Juggernaut thought she had too much screen time in Deadpool movies, I guess. All right, we're going to start hucking at Zemo. Wow, bullseye popping off there. 3 crits and a wild. That's going to be a bleed. Zemo only blocking 1.
So taking 2?
So taking 2.
2 and he's dazed.
Oh, he did block 2, yeah.
And he's dazed.
That's all that was needed, though. Lots of judge calls right now. Tyson filling in as Omnis is here. The Crisis setup, Mr. Will is Hammers and Infinity. Also good to see you, dude. So that's a Baron. All right, Wreath with a pass, especially now that Zemo is dazed.
Yep.
Hoping maybe Kirchhoff will move someone up into death range. But solid activation from Bullseye. And that's 2 really good activations, actually. One from Iron Man and another from Bullseye. Hawkeye into Juggernaut with energy. Juggernaut only blocking 1, only 2 going through. Nice punch to nothing. I'm going to rip you in half now. Second verse. Second verse will be the same as the first, but he did get a wild this time, which will put shock onto Juggernaut, so no damage through. But shock's still kind of the goal there, right? Hammer is a bit awkward for shield. It's pretty fast scoring, and they aren't great at chasing the extracts once they get away. Yeah, it's valid.
Yeah.
All right, Juggernaut going to move up. Just going to get him some power, as well as some extra dice on an attack. And it looks like he has found a Hawkeye in his sights. So he's going to be bumping into him, looks like, for 1 automatic damage, also getting him in range of that Infinity Formula. And I think we're going to see... We've been hearing it about the nice punch, but I think we're going to see one now. Oh, just a double move. No, gotcha. All right, so that wasn't Nothing Stops the Juggernaut. That was actually just a double move up there onto that point, especially now that Hawkeye's already gone and Iron Man's has already gone, and Bullseye. So that's actually going to leave Juggernaut in a pretty safe position until the next round. Okay.
There was an attack.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So that was a push for Juggernaut to get up there. Eye in the Sky is going to have him getting away, which probably the call to make, especially with so few characters left for him to go. He has Nick Jr. and Bucky left. All right. So that's going to have potentially Hawkeye and Juggernaut off the point, though it looks like Juggernaut might be in range of that top Infinity Formula. Bob has already gone. So we still have Red Skull, Master of Hydra for Wreath, which might be the play here. This Juggernaut has also gone. Zemo is dazed. Black Cat has activated as well, as has Bob, so it looks like Red Skull is it. And so with that pass, we'll go with Bucky, who's going to Hydra Tactics to get up, get within line of sight, and potentially range of Red Skull.
Okay.
Curious if he goes, oh, a stretch, Canadian Wally.
Ooh,
dude, good to see you. It's been a while. Ooh-wee. Wow, I needed that one. Into Red Skull from Bucky with a hammer. It's going to be 5 dice. Boom, 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 boom. No follow-up attack there. Wow, but he is going to get the bleed. What a wild
It's going to take one.
thing that we've seen here. So he's going to take just 1 from that.
Yeah.
But
Attempt number 2.
Dragon.
All right.
oh, there we get the
That's-
rapid fire this
okay,
time. That
there
is
you go.
5.
Yep.
And a lot of skulls on that defense.
5 and only 1 block.
Red Skull's taking 4 there.
Yeah.
And a rapid fire as well. Wow. Especially after that first one not getting the rapid fire, only 1 through.
Yep.
Are we going to see a dazed Red Skull in round 1 or in round 2?
Bucky pops off. Bucky pops off.
For real. Bucky with a hammer is terrifying.
All right,
Oh,
only
no.
1.
All right, so only 1 going through here. Gosh.
Aw. Well, tell your 7-year-old we said thank you. That's a funny joke.
Aw.
So Red Skull goes down for the rapid fire. Mission objective onto Bob.
Okay. What an incredible activation from Winter Soldier. Dazing Red Skull, Master of Hydra. Mission objective got used here as well to pass that hammer off to Bob.
Hydra Tactics back on.
And he's going to Hydra Tactics back onto the point. When you do that much
Dang.
damage,
Wow.
you might as well.
Way to go, Bucky.
We have eyes on the prize and mission objective used. Dang. All right. So we were talking about line of sight for mission objective.
Okay.
Just Bucky things. That Bucky roll was MCP dice in a microcosm. Nothing, all nothing. Yep. But it still gets the days. All right, you guys can kind of hear it really heating up at some of the other games here for MCP.
All right.
Yeah, so Wreath is certainly going to have priority next round. See what he does with that.
Yeah, I know chat brought it up. I always feel like passing is super risky. I feel like in some ways strategically it makes sense and it's a good call, but in others like that, ooh, I'm sure he wasn't anticipating
Bucky to just pop off like that.
Yep. But I wonder if he's kicking himself and wishing he'd thought about that a little bit differently.
Yeah, he's got to be, I think, at this point. Well, and just a Hydra attack, just being able to get him up there to fire 2 shots off and get back onto the point. Wow. Bob looking vulnerable with that hammer right now. Listen, Bob's invincible. Don't talk about Bob that way.
How dare you?
Right. Okay. So Commandos move up, Brothers in Arms to move Hawkeye back onto that point after Eyes in the Sky to get away from Juggernaut. Fury showing his worth. Yeah, you're not wrong. We might get a grenade onto Juggernaut too to get that incinerate. All right, so at the end of round 2, poutine is the best dish. I will literally fist fight you.
I love poutine.
Oh, Joe Maggi starting some drama here.
He's gonna use the knife.
All right, we're gonna knife Bob.
Use the knife.
No pierce, but still 4 on nothing. That's a dazed Bob. And that'll give him what he needs to pick up that hammer.
It's got gravy on it, man.
Just cheese and chips, isn't it?
Gravy and cheese curds. So good.
So Tyson got that STL from somewhere. I don't know where it was, but he's the one that painted it and got those all nice and going. Wow, okay. So what he did there is he spent some power to drop the grunts. The grunts come out, they pick up the hammer that Bob dropped.
And we end that 9-7 shield.
What a swap over there. That'll be 9-7 shield. Going into round 3.
That was a good turn for Kirkov, man.
What a comeback. Wow. So Wreath is certainly going to be having priority here.
He's not out of it, though. Like, I heard of a few games yesterday where there was a big swing. Our friend Ben had to score 7 points to win in one turn, and he did it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's absolutely possible to happen.
I thought the J stood for Jank. All right.
I thought the J was for Juts.
I thought it was too.
Oh, man.
Jets. That statue is, it really is grooving.
It's so good.
Kirkov with his dry erase power and damage. Getting that erase jiggle action in. All right, so Wreath has got to make some moves here. I think he goes Juggernaut first, try to take out Hawkeye, but the eye in the sky is there. What's up? In Quebec, you can get poutine with epic stuff in it. It can be so much more. Yeah, you can.
Token management is
100% Kirkov picking up some of those skills from Guild Ball. Great fishing in Quebec. Quebec. I'm assuming that was a Letterkenny reference, which I absolutely adore. Yes, sir. I love that chat is just all about poutine right now.
I know, right? We're going to take a break from your LVO coverage to talk about poutine. We'll be right back.
In Quebec. I love how each one of them says Quebec in a different way. It's one of my favorite bits of that.
Oh, Shorty, I'm so happy.
Small clarification for earlier. Building is size 4. So
Oh.
block line is size to jump.
Okay. So just some clarification there, that building is only size 4. So even though it is massive, it cannot block line of sight to Juggernaut. Poutine is the true MVP of LVO 2023.
Oh, Ronald, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I
You
would
just gotta
be
find
shocked
it.
if there's not. All right, so it looks like we're getting Bob moving up. Bob is the first activation? And he's looking at an eye in the sky.
Big boom boom into Fury.
So excessive violence into Fury. Fury's gonna eyes in the sky.
Excessive.
Excessive violence.
I don't know, man. It's the semifinals. Get down with the violence.
Yeah. All right, so we got a lot going on right here to see if the eyes in the sky will get him out of line of sight of that excessive violence. I mean, this could be pretty big here. Fury taking not like a moderate amount of violence, but like an excessive amount of violence potentially.
Success.
Is it going to give him cover? Or is it going to block it at all? Is it going to break line of sight?
I think we're going to do line of sky.
Okay.
Okay.
He's unsure if it's going to be out of line of sight or cover. We have to see.
Yeah. So this is actually kind of a big move here for a lot of reasons. So Bob is on his injured side. If he gets an activated token, well, okay, yeah, so maybe it's not as risky as I thought. If he gets the activated token, he can be killed, KO'd. But if he excessive violences, then he can't be targeted to be KO'd. So, all right.
Pi, absolutely, very quick. If you hop over to our YouTube page, we have so many videos of me learning the game and all of us kind of like learning it together.
Yeah.
So go check those out. Very, very easy to learn, quick to pick up. It's like, what's the game that's like a minute to learn, a lifetime to master? Right, like
Checkers?
backgammon
Chess?
or something.
Yeah, maybe it was backgammon.
Othello, I don't know. One of those games. But yes, very easy.
Othello.
Thank you, Dan. I always
It does
get
block
that
line
wrong.
of sight?
No, it does not.
It does not. Bob. Okay. All right, so Bob does still have line of sight on Nick Fury. The excessive violence is going to be happening right now.
It's excessive.
Not only that, the excessive violence might be hurting Red Skull here. All right, so an okay roll. No, that's good. 2, 4, 5.
Okay. And no blocks.
So cover. We'll give him
gotcha.
the 1 block.
Okay.
Fury's alive on 2. It takes 4.
Wow. All right. Does the
Fury taking
explosion
4.
hit Red Skull?
Potentially.
Okay. Okay, he does say Skull will take 2 as well. I do like the setup here. Also, thank you, Hammer and Darth Dog and Canadian Wally for the follows. Really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Good to see you all here. Good to see you all appreciate poutine.
Heck yeah. If you appreciate poutine, don't forget you can sub with your Amazon Prime subscription. It's free. If you've got Prime, sub with Prime.
Also, if you do sub with Prime or by any other means, or at any level of the Patreon as well, you'll get access to the full, enhanced, extreme Discord. You can also join the Everyman version of the Discord as well by
Everyman.
typing !Discord and getting that link. Some other commands that are happening here are the longshanks link. If you do !longshanks, you'll be able to pull up the longshanks for this event. You can do Discord to get that link.
Red Skull does take the 2.
And there's also a third, Xavier. !Xavier will get you the Xavier protocols link for the data breakdown of this particular event.
JP, great one. Yes, we cover Adepticon, Everwinter, ACO, LVO. Many more to come.
Yeah.
The angle was off, so he runs into the grunts, and the grunts go down.
It was a great setup, by the way.
Yeah, it was good.
So as far as like, I huge appreciation for Bob. This is some of the best Bob plays I've seen. Setting it up so that there was no possible way that the throw afterwards wasn't going to hit those grunts is a masterclass in Bob. Right here.
You don't see Bob used often, but
It's true.
that was Bob perfection.
It was.
I dare say.
Bob's your uncle now. And yes, thank you, Dan. We stream live Marvel Crisis Protocol every Monday night from Bearded Dragon Games, where there will be an event next month, February 18th, in Oneonta, New York. If you're in the area, make sure to come out. We're going to try to get that as an LVO qualifier as well.
Fury closes the grunts back down. They pick up the extra.
All right.
Thanks, Knuckle Gold.
Knuckle Gold, thank you.
Appreciate that sub, baby.
Spender into Red Skull.
All right, so we get a Spender into Red Skull here, some leading from the front, showing only one defense on the die so far. And is that a KO'd Red Skull?
Yep. It sure is a KO'd Red Skull. Took 4.
Wow.
Whoop, there it is.
Huh.
I feel like that meme gif of Chrissy Teigen where she's just like,
Yep, what a
Reese can't be happy
impactful
about that.
activation that was.
Yeah, that was great.
And that's just one attack.
I feel like this pendulum is swinging, right? Where Bob
Right.
totally did great things, and now Kirkov's doing great things.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, upcoming events, we're going to try to do Salt City Open, I think, in Syracuse, New York, in July. Potentially ACO, probably. I would assume we'll be there in June. Might be at NashCon again in August. Adepticon in March for sure, and maybe some more frontline gaming events. I think it's a little too late for us to prepare for Cherokee Open, but certainly going to try to be at a bunch of events this year, streaming some MCP.
Yes, Darth Balls. Skull's done.
Come to the UK. That'd be fun, actually. Might try to hit up one in Canada as well. Who knows? The year is still young.
Once we get our professional casual network, Winnebago,
Yes.
we are on it.
So we got a grappling hook, and then we're
Black Hat, grapple hook.
throwing dice in the bullseye.
Okay.
Okay. So Black Cat grappling hooking back onto that point for the Infinity Formula, and we're going to throw some claws at Bullseye. Looks like 2 are going to go through, and he's going to parting shot. It's going to do 1 back and get him a short move away.
Goodbye.
Taylor also does hobby hangout. Yes, thank you, Dan. We have a hobby hangout every Tuesday here where Taylor paints some stuff live right here on the Twitch. Thursdays is also the live version of Wait Did I Roll the Wild podcast version of that comes out Tuesdays.
Oh, Taylor's got paint.
And we got some Monument Hobbies paint as well. There's some of that pro acrylic Taylor's excited to show off on that stream.
It's for Rusty's smoking jacket.
Ooh, he's doing a incredible smoking jacket that we got to see at Everwinter from our man Rusty, who some of you might know as Rusty Paints, at that Everwinter event. Also, Iron Wield, I think we're going to try to do in May.
Troublemaker.
Okay. Troublemaker
Who is
onto
this?
that is Nick Fury and his grunts.
Ah.
Who's the Troublemaker on?
It does take 1 damage.
Who's Troublemaker on?
Say again?
Who's Troublemaker on? Bullseye?
The bullseye.
Into Bullseye?
Okay.
All right. So the Troublemaker doing 1 damage to Bullseye. He's also going to stagger him,
He's down to 1 now.
and he's at 1 left.
Oof.
And he did a parting shot back.
Parting shot
And a
back
parting shot
in.
again.
As you
funny.
do.
So 2 parting shots onto Black Cat. And doing a little bit of damage there is always fun.
Bullseye into Black Cat.
All right, Bullseye looking like he's doing okay here against Black Cat. 2 go through. She's got to be sitting at 1 if she's not dazed. Looks like it. Yep.
Stagger.
And so Black Cat's still at 1?
Still at 1.
Okay. So yeah, because of the stagger, he's only going to get that 1 hit off. Which, wow, I mean, it would have been guaranteed if not for that stagger. So that Troublemaker was actually a great play there, because otherwise Black Cat would be down there. Because I don't know if you knew this or not, but Bullseye can never miss.
He just can't.
Yeah.
Like, he's physically incapable.
Canadian Wally, 100%. We got to see Kirchhoff pretty early in the... Was it in the LCQ or was it in this? But yeah, we saw him very early on stream, and yeah, this shield list is just a murder bot. Hydrate, thank you, Wally.
Thank you. I just swallowed an entire ice cube.
We're gonna get a pass from Reef.
Commando's throwing a grenade into Juggernaut.
Commando's gonna grenade Juggernaut. No wild there. Only 2 damage. Blocking 1. Nice punch down to 0. Nice punch to 0. LCQ. All right, was the LCQ.
Prototype weapons into Juggernaut.
Prototype weapons into Juggernaut, showing 2.
Reduce takes 1.
Only going to take 1 after a nice punch. Incinerate is auto on... Oh, you're right, yeah, because you only rolled 3 dice there. You are correct, sir. Kirchhoff, what? Yes, Kirchhoff was game 1 of the LCQ. By the way, those videos are up on the YouTube right now from the LCQ. They're in a big, broad form, but they will be condensed down into individual matches later. So if you did miss it, it's in 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is the first 3 games of the LCQ. Part 2 is the games 4 and 5.
Juggernaut's gonna nothing stops into Hawkeye.
Okay, so we're gonna stretch here as well. Thank you, Trim. We're gonna nothing stops the Juggernaut into Hawkeye for 1 more damage. Oof. Oh, that's right. We saw him play Alyssa.
He's gonna punch Hawkeye after moving.
And he's gonna punch Hawkeye after moving to get that power and that extra dice. So this will be, I believe, 8 or 9. But he is shocked. All right, so balances out with the shock and the hammer for that 8 dice swing. Looking like it might be okay. Only blocking 1, but doing 2, 3. Oh, Hawkeye is on 1.
Ugh.
At the current rate in this game, we are looking at an LCQ winner in the finals. Very well could be. And that's the thing, right? It's anyone's game. Jugs is all set.
Energy shot into Juggernaut.
And Hawkeye's going to fire back. He's going to block all of it. Doesn't even need a nice punch. Going to do it a second time. Same thing. Nice punch. Nothing. And we're going to add bleed with that wild off of that Hawkeye shot. Welcome back, Aegis Brand. Alyssa, OC Panda, Darth Balls, dude. Will, I love seeing your name every time it pops up. And we're going to pass from Reef. Sorry.
Juggernaut has so 8 attacks on 3 damage.
Wow.
Juggernaut just not, I don't know if you knew this or not, but as far as things that can stop the Juggernaut, it's mostly nothing.
I feel like I heard that about him.
Right? I think I read it on a bathroom wall or something.
Right, yeah, somebody wrote that. With lipstick, which was weird.
Friday AI into Juggernaut. Repulsor blast.
All right, Friday AI with a repulsor blast into Juggernaut, I think I heard. Ooh, a great block. Blocking 3. Wow. Doesn't even need a nice punch that energy shot.
Try it again.
Doing it a second time. This time, nice punching it down to 0 again. Okay, so he will take one there. Oh, there was. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, wow. For a good time, Cole Wade. That Juggernaut is crushing it right now. Okay, so the Juggernaut will get pushed there because of the Wild. Yeah, so I think one of the last times Alyssa got to play it was crushing me, personally, at a MCP event in Syracuse, New York. That was the first time actually we got to meet Ben and Alyssa, and honestly, we've been best friends ever since. All right, we got Zemo here for Reef. He's got to do some work here. He kind of got pushed out a little bit. Looks like he might be going after Iron Man. Zemo stacked on power. Oh, that's right. We also got to see Alyssa and Ben with Dan and myself on stream for a Separation Anxiety, where tortilla slaps were abound. You can check that one out on the YouTube. Link is down below. Also, if you are looking for those sleeves, there should be a new panel down below that makes those a little bit easier to access. That'll bring you to the Facebook store, where all of those sleeves are available for purchase. Appreciate every one of you that does that. That helps out our network incredibly. NFC Championship game looking like a dud back to the LVO. I like it. Is that San Francisco in the NFC Championship? How are those Niners doing? Welcome back, Spankish. Can I get a catch up? All right, so we're going to get a charge here. Yeah, so we've seen a lot of deathly stuff. We saw a Bob shoot a bazooka and Nick Fury throw himself into some shield grunts, take them out. We saw Red Skull, Master of Hydra, never even get an attack off.
Yeah.
Dazed and then KO'd. This is an insanely deadly game. Shield is out for blood. Oh, no. All right. Shuckle my butters. Yeah, so he got shot by Bucky a bunch and got just ripped apart in round 2. And then in round 3, Fury led from the front and just one-shot him.
Yeah.
All right, so we got this this Zemo into Iron Man here with a Steel Rush. Wait, what is this? This is a ton of dice. Holy crap, look at those crits.
That is a
4,
lot
5,
of
6.
crits.
Only blocking 1, 5's going through. So 4 should go through, right, after Invincible? Oh, he did 7.
Wow.
Wow. So that's a dazed Iron Man?
No. This is on Commandos.
Oh, this is on the Commandos. My bad. All right. So that popping off of Zemo was against the Commandos and took him right out.
It's definitely Wreath needed that, for sure.
All right, now a Steel Rush into Hawkeye. Also, just ducats of dice. What is happening?
Wow.
Zemo is just popping off. And that's going to be another medium movement after dazing Hawkeye and moving over to that Infinity formula.
Zemo with 10 power.
I don't know if you've seen his dance moves before, but he's showing them off right now.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, like Taylor just said, Zemo with 10 power.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
I am still a rabid Niners fan.
That's it.
Have been since 92. Oof, I'm old. It's weird being the kid in upstate New York that likes the Niners, but listen,
Yeah.
Jerry Rice and Steve Young, you know, it was a golden time. As a Seahawks fan, dude, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not saying nothing right now. But I get it. I like the rivalry. But every time Pete Carroll smacks that gum in his mouth, I want to smack it out his face.
Oh my gosh.
Upstate New York, not a Bills fan. Yeah, you're not wrong. Dad's a Giants fan. Grandpa's a Jets fan. Other grandpa's an Eagles fan.
Ending the round potentially 15-10.
Okay.
All right. What a
Looking at the
swing.
points.
Our whole street was weird. Yeah, my brother was a Dolphins fan too, Spankish. Loons were Vikings. I was a Niner. Dad was Giants. I got Richie over here on the sideline. I think Richie's a Bills fan. You a Bills fan? You a Bills fan? I thought so.
That's cute.
He says we don't talk about that till September, though. How many rounds are left?
End of round 3 right now.
As far as rounds for the day, though, this is the semifinals, so
Yeah.
there's going to be one more game after this. That'll start at 3 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah,
And that'll be the
see.
finals.
11-13 shield.
11-13 Shield.
Interesting.
Bullseye was just outside on top of the
Oh, man. All right, so Bullseye was just outside of range to get one more point for Kirchhoff. You hate to see it, Chuck.
You hate to see it, Chuck.
My parents were Bills fans, and they used to say the Bills stands for, boy, I love losing Super Bowls. So,
Well, yes, this is a 6-round event in total. So this is very much the semifinals. We'll see the winner of this may be going up against Simon or, forget the other player that's left.
Alex?
Alex.
Yes? Andrew, I'm sorry.
Andrew, yes. All right. The Vikings are equal to the Bills in Super Bowl losses.
You gotta love the vast wealth of knowledge that people in chat have.
Yep.
I love it. We should all go do trivia together.
Oh, Mitch, I'm glad to hear you say that. We did that for you. I'm glad to see you here. What's the affiliations for these final 4? So we have Shield for Kirchhoff, sorry. Reith was running a Avengers Hydra list. We have Mono X-Men Gold for Simon. And then what is Andrew running? Brotherhood Avengers.
Yeah, we've declared Master Swordsman strike and Hawkeye.
All right, Master Swordsman strike into Hawkeye, trying to take him down. Looks like a really good defense roll there. So is that nothing?
Bullseye is going to sacrifice.
Bullseye's sacrificing.
Sacrifice.
Okay. What was the biggest surprise of the weekend for both of you? Any games that were just memorable for good or bad reasons? Yes. First game of the Invitational, we saw Mike from Strike Better up against a very young Dayton, 15 years old,
Yep.
and just an incredible game from a very young player, a career to watch in MCP as well.
Yeah.
That Master Swordsman strike is in fact going to daze Bullseye here at the start of round 4. Commandos, though, got your back.
Got you back.
So they're going to get a shot here at, one defense. Doesn't look like a lot on the hits, though, so just 1 damage. Not bad. But yeah, game 1 of the Invitational was really good. Game 5, I think it was, of the LCQ was also stellar. Got to see some Hulk smackdowns.
Master Swordsman on Hawkeye again.
All right, so we're going to Master Swordsman on Hawkeye again. What's that? Okay. He is going to eye in the sky there. What characters are currently on the board and where are they? So currently on the board, we have Juggernaut up at the top. Below him, we have, I believe, Baron Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
Striking the James.
Striking a...
Commandos.
Okay, so we're going to strike into Commandos here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 go through. And that was... Who was that into who, Taylor? That was who into who?
He eyeing the sky so he gets his action.
Oh, okay, so that Master Sword Strike went into... I gotcha. Okay.
It was not Master Sword, it was just a regular strike.
Okay.
Just a regular strike into them, but still 3 going through on that strike into the
Yeah.
Commandos. So at the bottom of the board there, you have Bucky behind that lamppost on the bottom right. On the left side, you have the Commandos with Nick Fury Jr. and Bob around that garbage truck. Dead center is Iron Man, and in the upper left is Black Cat. There is an invisible bullseye up on top of a building as well, that grocery store in the center.
Commandos battlefield medicine themselves.
Commandos are going to battlefield medicine themselves. I believe that's pay 2 to heal 3. It's like the old med pack. Anyone know where Vince got those health power trackers? No idea. We can certainly ask in the interview after the game, though. Oh, he made them.
That's dope.
Got to run for now. I'm going to try to catch the finalists. See you later, Will.
Bye, Darth
Good to see you, man.
Show is over into Juggernaut Energy.
Show is over. Into Juggernaut Energy. Juggernaut only blocking 1. He's only doing 3 here. It's probably going to be a 1 damage after a nice punch.
Yeah.
Just 1.
Just 1. Dang.
Gets the wild trigger to shoot.
Okay, gets the wild trigger here to follow up attack. Throwing blanks. Looks like 3 is going through here. After another nice punch, it'll be 2.
Nice punch to 2.
Beautiful.
Show is over.
All right, the show is over. The second time, energy into Juggernaut.
The show's over.
Ooh, that one's a much better one.
Oh.
Ooh, but blocking 2 after a nice punch, we see 4, 5. Blocking 2, that'll bring down to 3. Nice punch down to 2. The exact amount of days. So Juggernaut is now down. Listen, he's taken a lot. He's taken 8 shots from Hawkeye, 2 shows over, bunch of like repair shots. Like, listen, he's done work today, even if it's just soaking shots.
So it looks like the other semifinal game is finished with Andrew coming up on top with 20
Ooh, okay.
against Simon scoring 11 with his X-Men.
Gotcha.
So Andrew will be going on to the finals against Reith or Kirchhoff, whoever can pull it off on this one.
So Spankish, the dice sides are not the same distribution. There are 2 blanks, 2 hits, 1 wild, 1 crit, and 1 skull.
I
And
have
1
breaking
block.
news.
Yeah,
The Avengers, with a slight Brotherhood splash, take that game and go
Yeah.
on to the finals.
100%. So that means Simon is out. X-Men are gone. You hate to see it, Chuck.
I'm proud of Simon for making it this far. I
Yeah.
know his first matchup yesterday in
Had
the
to be against-
Invitational,
yeah.
he had to be against his friend from his own LGS. It's unfortunate, but I feel like to go this far, good for him.
Final 4 is pretty thematic. Hydra and S.H.I.E.L.D. And at the other table is X-Men and Brotherhood. And the winners are both going on.
Bob reloads.
Bob reloads that excessive violence, and he's going to fire again at Fury. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
4 skulls, 3 blocks on that excessive violence.
Gosh.
But all the damage is going to go through. I think it'll still get him. So even with an awful roll, I think that still might get Fury because he patched up the Commandos. Playing your locals round 1 at a major sucks. It really does.
Fury takes 2, runs down.
Does Fury days as well, or does he have a little bit left? Okay, he's at 2. All right, so that's going to take out the Grunts and Fury. Bob doing work.
All right, Bob.
Bob also gets thrown from that.
Violence was excessive.
The violence was excessive, and I mean, what a great move too, even with a roll like that. a single successful block would have prevented a catastrophe there. Reese has got to be happy with that. Did Bucky not have power for Got Your Back? It wouldn't have mattered there because Bob gets thrown away and takes some damage. So he wouldn't be a legal target. Bob woke up and chose violence. Yes, he did. All right, a repulsor blast into Black Cat. He's getting the push here. Looks like 4 showing on the die, blocking none. That might just daze.
She drops the hammer.
And Iron Man's going to pick it up. And some might say, then all day, have good luck.
Knuckle Gold, that's a cool idea. We have ours.
What's that?
When we play on stream, it's blue and red construction paper,
and that's
it's laminated so that you have the 1-inch diameter around it, so you can kind of see when you're within 1.
So that is going to be a double move from Bucky. He's going to go up, pick up a hammer, and that is going to end the game. Kirkov taking the win. So that means we are going to have Kirkov and Andrew in the finals.
That is correct.
Shield against Brotherhood. All right, so we're gonna get to talk to both of the gents here.
Yeah.
In a moment. That in third and final game. The finals will go live at 3 p.m. We're gonna do some interviews, talk to some people. In the meantime, probably take a short break, but that break won't be for a while because we have a lot to go over still.
Yeah.
So we will get the final score here in a moment. But still a great game from both players.
That was great.
Some unfortunate rolls on both sides, but not a lot of mistakes, that's for sure, especially at this level of the event. You shouldn't be able to pick up the hammer, doesn't matter much, but still, Iron Man's push before damage. That's fair. That's valid. I think they're actually discussing that right now.
Yep.
Because they're kind of redoing what the points might have been. But yeah, so what do you think? So we're going to have Shield and Brotherhood in the finals. As far as what you at home in chat were expecting, is that what you were expecting to see in the finals?
Final score is 20-11.
Final score is 20-11. Beautiful. Oof.
Good to see. Great game.
Yeah.
I really have to say, I don't think that Reith played poorly whatsoever. I think that getting Red Skull taken out before he could even do anything, that got him, man.
Well, and he played, conservatively there, right? He went up, he eyes on the prize, he picked up that hammer, he moved back to safety.
Yep.
And it happens.
All right, we're going to get some of these contenders on here, so I'll see you guys later.
All right. So please welcome back to the stream. Mr. Reith will be here to talk about that game. This is doing a quick debrief with him right now. But gosh, what an incredible game. Very excited for these finals. But yeah, I mean, so what do you think? So who do you like in the finals? Personally, I've seen Kirkov play a lot, right? I have not seen Andrew play. So I know that Kirkov Vince does an incredible job every single time he's on. He really leads that Shield affiliation with a lot of force. And they are just a murder bot team, right? Every time we've seen him, it's just he's taking people out, priority targets, juggernauts, whatever, what have you. He will bring them down eventually. With 2 instances of Got Your Back as well, it's just incredible. But unfortunately, all of my support here on the sidelines is either not paying attention or not here. But Reith should be here in just one moment. All right, so we do have Reef here now. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Yeah, it was a rough game for me.
Yeah. So tell me about some of your plays going in there. So the setup and the train on here kind of led to a bunch of different discussions, right? About whether you had certain people had line on sight on Juggernaut, whether Bullseye being up there, being able to do things. Was there any kind of like glaring changes that you would have made going into this that if you were to replay this match that you might do, whether it was Texas Cards choices or the models that you brought?
So no, I think I probably would have gone 17. I think it was an error giving him an extra point to play to go wider.
Yeah.
So 17 threat I think would have advantaged me more. And I think the terrain placement, him choosing sides, I think hurt me a little. Not being able to. So one of my turn one plays with Juggernaut is a Eyes on the Prize and double move, pick up one of the side hammers, but it was blocked on both sides of mine, so I couldn't get within the two to grab it.
Yeah.
And normally he's fairly safe, and then all of my points are on that piece, and I can play conservative after that, and then just play up on points.
Yeah.
So that was the game plan, but just where the terrain was placed didn't quite work out. And him being able to choose threat, I mean, there was nothing much I could do there. So.
Yeah. I know Neo Kenobi in chat says that if Senators happened to be the extract, that it would have been a much better probably setup for you there.
So I think, I'm assuming he's talking about the next
gotcha.
game.
My bad.
Yeah, so I don't think either of us had it. So I think his
Yeah.
extracts, other than Researcher, were all good for me. And I was happy with Researcher if I would have just shifted into Sam, I think, for that matchup.
Yeah. So were there any other delineations in what you were choosing? And that just a super unfortunate setup for Red Skull, and a shame too when you played him conservatively. You got him up there, you got a hammer, you moved back, and then Bucky just doing Bucky things, unfortunately.
Yeah, Bucky's still my kryptonite. So
Yeah.
Bucky's knocked me out of 2 CCS cuts and now this. So I'll have to, whenever I see Bucky across the table, he continues to be my Achilles heel. But I mean, he played well. His threat range is so large when he can place off 2 and then be range 5. So I think it was still a decision error. I had priority, so it was still a decision error on my part. I think I could have played Red Skull conservatively and sent him to my other side and had my hammers away from Bucky.
Yeah.
Instead, I went for the extract steal on
Black Hat.
On Black Hat, and I think I had time. So I think playing conservatively there would have helped me. And then I can pressure his back secure, and we end up on parity probably again in the second turn, but I'm probably ahead on attrition. So I think error-wise is that, and I think the activation, I went Bob instead of Red Skull after he was dazed, were my two big errors that I made in the game. I think, and that cost me, like, it got punished and some really good play. The Eye in the Sky I didn't see. I was expecting him to move away, not towards. So the towards and then taking the damage from Bob's rocket, and then I think it was a foregone conclusion that Red Skull was going to KO at that point. And I think from there was no recovering. It was a couple of Hail Marys for me to try and grab it back.
Yeah.
I was out of it, I think, from that point.
Juggernaut taking a ton of, like, just not caring about anything. It seemed like for a while there, I mean, the amount of activations and actions that he soaked from Hawkeye alone was incredible.
Yeah, and losing the Eye in the Sky is such a bad thing for Juggernaut. That's why I was really hoping to avoid 18.
Yeah.
But having that drawn, like 17 would have been really good for me, but having that drawn, Juggernaut struggles in a shield with that Eye in the Sky. So that turn one, normally I'd be probably dazing Hawkeye off that. Would have been a 9 dice attack when Juggernaut goes to the back, but the Eye in the Sky gets him out of range even if I'm base to base.
Yeah.
So there's not much. It provides, I think, a lot of agency to Kirchhoff. So, and he played his tactics cards really well. And I think, credit to him, he played superbly throughout.
Yeah. Well, and just in general, I think this was a great game overall, and even with some of those really early devastations, I mean, you stayed in it, right? There was, like you said, a couple Hail Marys to win it, but I mean, personally, I love Bob. I love seeing those excessive violences. And the setup and the placement, I thought that was a masterclass in general on Bob, setting that up in between Nick and the grunt so that you were forced to be thrown into those grunts and taking them out as well. I thought it was very cool to see.
Yeah, thanks. So my idea was I set the angle up expecting Fury to go away, as in towards Winter Soldier, for some safety. when he moved the other way, that threw me off, and it was a decision I should have. I wanted a double attack on Skull, which I think was greedy, rather than playing conservatively. So I think that aggressive play cost me in the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was definitely my plan. Bob. It's not often the 9 dice that does the damage. It's the area 2 and the throw. If you can position it well, that I find quite effective. But it's always a bad game if you're relying on Bob's rocket to do a lot of damage. You're probably not in a good spot. So that was already at that point. I think I was in a hard spot.
Yeah. Well, and that swing back from Fury into Red Skull was just oppressive with the amount of hits that were rolled on that particular one. Do you know who you're going up against next?
I don't, but I look forward to my last game, and honestly, best of luck to the remaining players. And I'm hoping Vince wins now, so at least I can say I lost to the finalists.
Right.
It feels a bit better, right?
Yeah, 100%. But dude, thank you for stopping by. I always appreciate you coming through. And yeah, that was a great, incredibly well played game. And yeah, I mean, you can't be mad at going 4-1.
Yeah, 4-1. I'm pretty happy. Like, I'd be happy. Like, normally TTS League, one more win, and that would get me the cut. So,
right.
Yeah, very happy. Quality of players I've played all weekend have been exceptional. So,
and that's very specifically the thing here. Like, every opponent that you go up against is here for a reason, right?
100%.
So, but hell yeah, man. Well, I have a safe trip back and stuff, and I hope to see you continue to do well in the rest of the in the tournament.
Yeah, thanks very much, and hello quickly to my family.
Yeah.
So Jess and Lil and. Rogue Agents podcast, and obviously the local teams back in Australia and Halifax. So thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Cheers.
All right, so we're going to have one game left. The championships themselves are going to be up next at 3. But before that, once again, a couple more interviews. We're going to talk to Kirkov right now, especially about what he thought about that last game. Kirkov, welcome back.
Thanks. I'm still trying to figure this thing out.
So, all right, so tell me about that game going into it, the selection of the threat. How much of an advantage was that for you?
It's the most important thing. Like,
right.
The only thing that matters. Like, I want to lose priority so bad.
Yeah.
And just pick the higher number. I think it didn't matter a ton here because it was 17-18.
Yeah.
But, like, I want to pick the threat.
Now, we saw you in the LCQ yesterday, right? Game 1.
I was the very first one on stream.
Yeah. So I really like that we're both going to start and end with Kirkov on stream.
Oh boy, I hope it goes as well as my first game.
Yeah, right. So qualified in the LCQ, doing incredibly well in the Invitational. Tell me about some of your other games in the Invitational, how they've been, what have you been up against, and what have you been seeing?
So I've run the gamut pretty far. So that's my second Hydra game. So I have 2 Hydra games. I have 2 Guardians games. I played Brotherhood once. Does that cover all the rounds? This has been 5 rounds?
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's what I've played against.
I'm sure it's been a blur. That many games over a couple days.
Yeah, Brotherhood was by far the hardest matchup. It's like one of the 3 factions I really don't want to see. Mm-hmm. And it's piloted by Mike DeLuca, who's one of the most respected people in the Invitational.
For real. And congratulations on pulling that, just in general. Like, that's got to feel very big as a win.
It did. It felt very good. I'm thinking a lot about the fact that, like, that I'm just kind of a dark horse. Like, how many, like, reps do people actually have into a Shield player?
Right.
And it's probably not a lot.
Right.
So I'm dark horsing a lot, and then so I've been championing Shield since I came out. They're like my favorite faction by a lot. I've been screaming from the rooftops that I think they're really, really strong.
Yeah.
And it seems like the community just largely disagrees with me about how to play them. There's like the people that are in our Discord are like, I defer to Vince. Right. And then it seems like the wider community plays them very differently. Like, there's a lot of She-Hulk splash. I see a lot of Black Panther. I see just like things that I just don't think are very good.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. They're like just not how I play Shield. And I don't know, it's really vindicating to be, essentially this is about as competitive as it gets.
Yeah, I don't think it gets more competitive than this.
And to be doing well. I'm excited. I just want to be proud of how I play the next game. Mm-hmm. Win or lose.
I mean, and from what we've seen so far, I'm expecting probably a pretty intense game. Very tactical. It is really interesting watching you play and having Shield be able to just take models off the board, right? Mm-hmm. and I think that's kind of what you were leaning to before, right? Where people may disagree that that is what Shield for, but you are certainly showing that that is the way it can be done.
Yeah, so there's two real things that are enabling that. So first, the leadership, lets me just go down on points, and I'm going to score like 2 or 3 free points over the game, because and if you just don't want to hit me, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm totally game if you don't want to dace my models. So that's going to keep me in the hunt for a long time and keep me relevant on points. And that allows me to not overextend and play attrition super, super hard. And then I have so many attacks.
Yeah.
Just looking at the number of attacks I'm making in a turn.
And the multiple potential for got your back on 2 characters. Yeah, there's a lot there. You're certainly constantly throwing dice. I loved those, the finishing the show finisher on Senior there. Being able to generate those additional attacks, finally being able to get that Juggernaut down and stuff as well.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are you thinking about going into the finals here?
Well, I think he's a Brotherhood Avengers player.
He is.
So nobody say anything, but I hope he plays Avengers. But neither of those are like cakewalks. Like Avengers, Brotherhood.
Yeah.
I would put the top 4 things in the game at Brotherhood, X-Men, Avengers, Shield. With Shield bringing up the rear there.
Yep.
I'm just going to play my game. I'm going to hope either my dice continue to be pretty good to great. I wouldn't mind luck sacking my way through this. I'm like, that's fine. But I'm scared of both Avengers in this. Like, he got this far just like me. He's a good player.
Correct.
Right. Hopefully we'll put on a good show for you guys.
So one thing I really want to ask about, there was a very specific eye in the sky that I think threw off Wreath a little bit as well when Bob goes to excessive violence, Nick Fury.
Yeah.
And you move towards Red Skull instead of to safety. Was that specifically to get that explosion damage on Red Skull to help take him down?
So it's 2 things. That gun is like range 4. I have to be out of range 4 for Eye in the Sky to turn it off. It's not just play the card, move, it's gone.
Gotcha.
Right. And if he can, and even if it worked that way, he could just take the attack again, because you don't discard the loaded token. I don't rob him of his loaded token.
Right. Like he would have a Death's Decree or a Master Swordsman or something like that.
The loaded token comes off at the end. So I just stop the thing early. But if I can break line of sight there, he used his first action to walk, which is what opened that opportunity. And so I just if I can get out, great. But if not, cover puts me at I think better than a coin flip to live.
Yeah.
Because it's 9 dice into 4, essentially reduced damage by 1. And then if that's the case, I have very good odds to kill Skull.
Yes.
And I didn't even consider the fact that the 2 damage would splash on the Skull, which made it nigh guaranteed that Fury's double spender kills Skull. And I got it in 1. And with Skull off the table, he had 5 points that all it did was score him 2 points.
Right.
5 threat that scored him 2 points. It's just a big, big deal in terms of efficiency, especially with what I'm doing.
Right. And so I guess to piggyback off of that as well, both in the first stream game that we had, you had some incredible eyes in the sky. In this one as well, what is your what's your tactic when you're using that, when you're deciding to use it, and how you employ it?
So again, you can watch my video on the subject.
Which once again is at, what's the YouTube there?
It's Vincent Kirkov.
Vincent Kirkov.
Curkov. Search that, you'll find it. So Eye in the Sky is a weird thing. When I first started playing Shield, the goal was to get 3 power and fury, Eye in the Sky every turn, keep my models as safe as possible, annoy my opponent as much as possible. That's not how I play it anymore. It is about whether or not this matters and how much how much playing the card impacts the game. Does it protect an activation? Does it keep a model on the table? Does it keep power live for Helios? There's a ton of nuance to playing the card, and it's I could write a dissertation on how to play.
I'm sure.
Eye in the Sky. It's a very difficult card to play. It's pretty easy to blow yourself out with, because there are interactions where playing Eye in the Sky is actively bad. See Killmonger, where Killmonger punches you, you're Eye in the Sky out. He's okay, I charge you. I already have my bonus dice.
Yep.
Or Gwen is a similar thing. Play Eye in the Sky good. I can't tell you how to do that.
Yeah, valid. So tell me about the Helios laser bombardment pick in that tactics card. Was that for any particular target? Was that to be able to take down a Juggernaut or something further away?
So again, you've now seen me play twice. Shield is bad attacks, bad attacks, bad attacks, and I'm trying to leverage a huge impact out of that tactics card slot.
Yep.
And I want to just pick up a model. So what that does is at any given point, any of his injured models, I can just be like, play this card, dump my power, pick him up. Right, which against somebody like Juggernaut, had I flipped Juggernaut going into that turn, if I had opened with a Helios on Juggernaut, right, think about how wildly different that opener is if I had gotten him down the turn before. So that's what I'm looking to do with that card. I considered it on Zemo when Zemo came in and dazed the two models.
What a run that was.
It was a big run. I didn't think it was that big of a deal at the time. So I first of all didn't think he had good odds to kill the commandos without the rerolls. And then he spiked it. And I was in cover, so I was like, this is fine.
Right.
And then he goes after Hawkeye, and I was like, this is fine. I have Bullseye on the point. And then Bullseye wasn't on the point, and I should have just sacked to Bullseye on the very first attack. Or I also considered the exact same play you saw in the first game, sack to Hawkeye. He was outside of 3 of Hawkeye. Sack to Hawkeye, try to shoot him, but he was in cover, so I'm not likely to get it. And so I'm just fishing for shock there to try to limit the damage.
Right.
But then sack's gone, and I just I thought that if I just held my more defensive attack for the next turn, that I was going to be able to carry it through.
Beautiful. So Dizzard keeps asking, who was at the helm here? Was it Vince or the Baron?
The Baron? I don't know that guy. He's not around. I'm on vacation, man. The Baron not the boss of me right now.
I love that. Any shout-outs you want to say to the people out there or anyone back home, or that you want to congratulate yourself in getting going 5-0 so far?
I don't know. Most of the people that have helped me prep for this are here. I ground a bunch of games on TTS in the morning. So I don't know. I just have a lot of reps. Obviously my podcast mates have been great. You guys should all go watch Alfredo's, or listen to Alfredo's Size 3 Taco Truck and Marvel Crisis Protocol podcast. And just go sub to my YouTube channel. I'm sure I will talk about this win or lose in some fashion. But
that would be a YouTube to absolutely go and subscribe to right now, because I'm sure there's going to be some incredible content coming out of there. Post the convention. So make sure to head over there. Vincent Kirchhoff on YouTube, as well as Alfredo's Size 3 Taco Truck. Vince, it's great to see you again. Best of luck in your final round, and congratulations on coming this far, especially starting in the LCQ.
Yep.
Well done, man.
Thanks.
All right, guys. So I think we're going to be taking a pretty short break here, coming back probably around 2. Because it is 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time that the third and final round of the day will be happening. So don't go anywhere, sit tight, and we will be back at 3 p.m. Pacific. Not Pacific Standard Time like we generally hear in upstate New York, but Pacific Time. 3 p.m. Pacific, we'll be back. Massive shout out to all of you that have subbed, followed, thrown gift subs. Guys, we could not literally be here without that. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. We absolutely rely on that. If you're interested in heading over to professionalcasual.com, not the professional casual, just professionalcasual.com, you can get access to all sorts of blogs. There's the Patreon links, Twitch, all sorts of other sponsors that help us be at these things. Oh, Aegis Brand, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. But we do podcasts as well. Wait, Did I Roll a Wild? The Marvel Crisis Protocol vlog. We go live with that right here on the Twitch every Thursday. We also do, the Power Phase, some live Marvel Crisis Protocol battle reports from Bearded Dragon Games in upstate New York every Monday. Both of those are at 7 p.m. Eastern. Every Monday and Thursday right here on the Twitch. The podcast version of that comes out Tuesdays. Mondays, we also have the Lost Omens podcast. New episodes of that come out every Monday. Patreon members at the $5 tier and above get episodes and video for that a week early. You can check out the first several episodes of that video on the YouTube right down below. And I think over 100 episodes for free available where all good podcasts are sold. Same thing for Warhammer 4th edition, Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th edition, actual play podcast called A Grim Podcast, A Perilous Adventure. Comes out every Thursday. Once again, $5 tier and up gets access to the video and the podcast a week early. Outside of all of that, we want to shout out our friend Joe Gennaro at the Comic Book Rundown. He does deep dives into single issues or single arcs of comic books from not just Marvel, but DC, Independence, Image, the whole gambit, including some rundown reviews of older movies. He started with some of the oldest comic book movies of all time. There's a Nick Fury movie, which they suffered through. The Batman, listen, it's all there. It's all great. ProfessionalCasual.com is the way to find it. Dr. Dylan as well, putting up blogs over at the blogs. Heavy distractions here on the sidelines. But guys, thank you so much. Wow, Aegis Brands, thank you as well for the gift sub. So RSA 5010. You can thank Aegis Brand Studios for that sub. Guys, thank you so much. We'll be back at 2, or I'm sorry, 2. And yeah, check out the stores, check out the site. Frontline Gaming, massive thank you to them as well, providing all of these mats, printing over 100 mats in the days leading up to the Las Vegas Open. Just great, great, great people. So we'll be back